So, Tron, what's the plan? How are we gonna get back at those bloody small scales for killing Dario? They must pay.
Dindin, I understand your eagerness for our next move. I do. But we must think this through. We cannot be rash. We must be swift.
Going against the Mekong is ridiculous. We need to influence our representatives more so they don't fold to the People's Chancellor anymore. We must handle this through the government and not act like Dario did.
Our representatives are brainwashed. There is little to no chance getting them to hear us and not Vinok before we all break from oppression. I'm tired of being treated like a small scale because I don't have stupid mind powers.
Here. Yes, Tron. What do you have in mind, Tron? Do we have a chance?
I'll tell you this, my Dindin friends. I'm sick and tired of being bossed around by those bloody Mekongs. They think they are more powerful because of their fancy brain tricks. They don't know how to use their own tails to build their homes, to grow their food. But we do. We break our bodies doing their work. It is time we rise up. This is our land. This is our home. We were here first. It is our time to rule again. Dario, my parent, did not die in vain. Xi will be remembered. We need to bring those mutated Mekong down from their made-up pedestals.
Tron, I am with you. We are with you. But how do you propose we do that?
There's an organization I know of. They call themselves the Genetic Gangsters. They have put me in contact with someone named Les who can help us disable the Mekong's telekinetic powers. Therefore, they will be weak, mutated, and vulnerable for us to overpower them. Down with the Mekong!
Down with the Mekong!
Yes, Commander, I understand. The Din Din are looking to overthrow the Mekong. Why again? Because they're tired of being second to them. Alright, because they can't move stuff with their... Yeah, okay, right. But double my salary? Nothing to read into there. Alright, of course I'm in. That'll be my round out of my final observation report on civilizations from the Outer Rim Galaxy. Yes, you could put me through the representative. What's the name? Tron. Yeah, go ahead.
This is Tron. Who is this?
This is legendary Les Willing, your genetic gangster. I hear you're having a problem on your planet.
Yes, I am the leader of the Dindin rebel group, and we need something to help overpower the Mekong. They are the worst. They have these telekinetic powers which puts them in a higher class of society than any of the Dindin, who don't have this stupid power. Their members exclusively have access to more technologically advanced machinery, while the Dindin and I have to slave away in order to put food on the table. They use their social power to pass whatever laws they want, and they think because they have this genetic freak tool, they're smarter and more civilized. Therefore, they make us obey their stupid oppressing laws and stupid ways of life and...
It's Tron, right? Listen, how's about this? I'll figure out for myself how the ground situation looks when I get to your planet, okay? If you're looking to overthrow the Mekong, I think I can help you. You say they have telekinetic powers, I may have something that can take those away. Are you interested or not?
Yes, sir. And we're able to pay heavily for it.
Hello and welcome to Spock News. Tomorrow's news today. Recent whispers have involved some type of outbreak occurring on the planet Vinca Da in the Icarut province. According to sources 2 weeks ago, of a violent explosion occurring in the medical and university district, killing 4, injuring dozens, and seemingly contaminating the surrounding area. Scary stuff. We have Perry Lattimore, a local flora and fauna fan, on the scene at Putai Abasai. What's up, Pear?
Why, hello there, Johnson. What we have behind us is what the locals like to refer to as the bottomless. 2 weeks ago, an earthquake occurred below these really unlively shores in a land once owned by a company called Excon, who was responsible for actually building a power grid that fuels some of the most populous cities in Ikiru. It would seem as if the untested gas methods they used or may have been responsible for the earthquake that occurred here in these lands. And it seems as if the explosion is responsible for the same pollutants that we see almost 200 miles away from the source. Aside from myself, the cameraman, and the military, we have come across no signs of life. All trees in the vicinity seem to be black and decayed. It's as if the plants have died or been consumed from the inside out. I can only wonder. Sorry. There seems to be some sense of... I just been informed that there's been an emergency evacuation. They suggest that if we're not outside by the wall, by midnight, no one can get out of here. I think that's my cue, Johnson. Back to you.
Thanks, Parent. You truly are a beautiful man. Now to Refrigerator Joe, who's also on Vincent Da, keeping it cool. What's up, Joe?
Believe what I've been through. The situation is a lot worse than we thought. Those damn polluted by the state board have escaped and have unintentionally infected doctors that anyone they've come across. The whole medical team, gone. The military soldiers, gone. They underestimated those creatures. They underestimated them. Determination. I'm all that's left. I'm all that's left.
Whoa there, buddy. Where's your cameraman?
I am the cameraman. Those creatures. They human no more. I tell you, I was looking over some footage from the medical ward when one came out of nowhere and grabbed him. It's like the Indiana Jones movie, I tell you. Next thing I knew, he was having a seizure and his face seemed warped, you know? It's like those we seen at the medical ward. It's same. That happened so fast. He was turned to one of those damn freaks. I ain't about to join him. You cheap shits don't offer medical care. Not like you used to.
So you fought him off, Fridge Man. Little fisticuffs.
Absolutely not. Touching people is a no-no here. The risks, we didn't know what we know now. So I ran. I ran so far away just to get away. And here I am. Look, Cave, y'all sent me to an early death, and you knew it. If you didn't know now you do. I ain't getting out of here. It's only a matter of time before... Shit, they found the body. Listen here, my guy. The sickness is extremely potent. All it takes is one touch from those things to get infected. Sweet baby Rays. If this gets out of the country. Oh, wait.
Well, that was quite a lot to digest. I'm sure he's okay. Yeah, it looks like he's just sleeping. Now in other news, there's a pervert in Queens.
Detective Mitchum, I presume? Ah, Wes Welling.
You presume correctly. Name's Jake Mincham. Good to meet you. You had me worried there for a minute you might have changed your mind.
What? Turn my back on direct request summons from the Intergalactic Federation and from one of Space's top cops? Of course, I'm happy to help, Mr. Mitchum. But I have to say, I don't really know what I can do for any kind of criminal investigation. Forensics isn't really my forte.
Oh, this isn't a criminal investigation, Mr. Willing. Or maybe it is. I don't know what you call this mess. Beats the hell out of me. But it's not like any case I worked before. I'll tell you that much.
Not a criminal investigation?
You got that right. This is a whole other thing. To be frank, Mr. Willing, I'm in way over my head. And that's why I need you. You heard of what's going on in Ikaru?
Who hasn't?
Well, I've been there for 2 duodicities now, trying to figure out what's going on. No luck so far, and to be honest, I don't really care what happened. Not anymore. All I know is that the people are sick. They're hurting, suffering, wasting away, falling apart, and it's my job to make them better. Nobody knows what's going to happen next, and I can't take any more chances or waste any more time messing around. I need some advice. Someone who's actually knows what they're talking about. Heard about you from IG and figured I'd call you up.
Yeah, when you say falling apart,
I mean falling apart. Literally falling apart.
I see.
So is there anything you can do? I mean, there's gotta be something like that that's happened before, right?
Look, I can't know for sure until I see them. I gotta study them, examine them. We gotta see what we're dealing with here.
Right, yeah. Of course. I can get you that. Interviews, notes, research, the works. You name it. I got it.
Ooh, there is one thing though that might work.
You serious?
Look, it won't cure the disease, but it can take their consciousness and put it into a different body.
And you really think that'll work?
It's worth a try.
But on such a broad scale?
It's worth a try.
Yeah. Not like we have any other options.
Are you sure they're going to want to talk to me?
Course they will. Lazarus has been amazing trying to figure out all this. They really know their stuff and can tell you what's happening better than I can. After all, they're ones of the poor bastards who had to live with it. Hey, Laz.
Detective, what do you need?
There's someone I'd like you to meet. This is Leslie Willen. He's an anthropologist, scientist, one of those IST here on investigation.
Hi, sorry, talk to me. How are things?
How do you think they are?
Well, I mean, like, how are you doing? Like, with your condition, how are you feeling? I just have a few questions, but let's start with that.
You really want to know?
Go on. Tell him what you told me.
Alright. Well, I suppose I better start with the basics. I'm 21 orbits old. I got polluted about 4 duodenaries ago. Got it from a friend of a friend at the university.
Did your condition advance rapidly?
Nope. Slow going. Always is. I only know a couple of people who advanced to being bonies.
Bonies?
Yeah, it's what we call people who have one of the more advanced stages. It's the most advanced stage that we know of anyways. You see how my skin fell off over here? Eventually, the muscles start to do that, and then all that'll start to be left is the bone. Bonies.
I see. Are the people you know who are bonies, did they get sick in the initial outbreak?
Yeah, for the most part. Heard talk of a few other people who are too, though, outside of my circle. You know how it is. There are always people, older people, little kids, who get sick faster.
What's the next stage after that? What happens? Do you know?
No, nobody does. Who knows what this thing can do? The cybernetics help some, but whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen, no matter what we do.
So is that what you're gonna do with that metal there?
Not for me, no. Not yet anyways. I build them for friends and stuff. Custom. Some people use the prosthetics because they don't want everyone to see them like this. Others just want to make it easier to look in the mirror. And other people who are real sick like to use them for stuff their body can't do anymore. Me, I get by okay the way I am right now. I don't see any reason to hide when you still look different, with or without a bunch of metal. It's not like anybody gives us the time of day anyways.
Have you experienced any like decrease in mental faculties since you got polluted?
Not that I know of. I can still do all the stuff I used to do. Same with everyone I know.
So one last thing then. You know anything about the trans data people?
You don't mean...
I do. So if your mind's intact, but your body's the only problem, why not get a new one? Now, it won't stop the outbreak, but
It buys time.
exactly. In order to see if this is gonna work, though, I'm gonna need some samples to study. You happen to know of anybody who would be willing to give me a few samples of the infected tissue? This is Dr. L. Willing. As mentioned in previous recordings, I've isolated a few samples of deteriorated tissue from sentients of Vichida that the Carusian locals call polluted. Ostracized from society due to repercussions received from a tragic technical accident. I've been tasked to study the cause of this contagion and its effect on both the impacted Icarusians and its potential impact should the affliction spread. I'm right about this. This could also mean a solution to the Dindin's little situation. The samples have been subject to a number of rigorous tests, which have been moderately successful, as reinforced with field studies, interviews, and other local sources. I've become aware that the toxin or virus has multiple stages, continues to deteriorate the host body over time, eating away at their physical forms, such as skin, the muscle, the bone. Despite this, however, the virus appears to be non-lethal, as those who were infected in the initial outbreak continue to survive at the time of this recording. Additionally, their minds, regardless of the condition of their bodies, remain intact and in fine condition. Therefore, I feel an adequate stopgap to contain this epidemic is to utilize the transdata technology to move their consciousness into a new body. As for long-term solutions, I propose engineering a constructive agent to counteract the deconstructive nature of this toxin. Further testings will be required. Testing on the Mekong brain tissue, I did notice a significant decrease in the neurons that give the Mekong their telekinetic powers, but their body tissue, as well as the Dindin's body tissue, seemed unharmed for the entirety of the experimentation period. Without their telekinetic powers, the Dindin should be able to overthrow them easily. Balance of power restored. I've got a cool 800 mil for my trouble. There's still some resources left over for cure testing. What could go wrong? Do you have the landing plans ready? I'm almost sanguine.
Yes, I can sort that out. Why? Do you have it?
If it is referring to the solution to all your Mekong issues, then yes, of course I have it. I'm the legendary Les. I always deliver.
Brilliant. I will notify the rebels immediately. What is it?
Well, based on my research, I really should be asking you to pay me double for what I cooked up. But I have some samples left from a recent outbreak on a neighboring planet, Vichida. You may have heard of it. It will decrease the brain activity in the Mekong and basically neutralize their telekinetic powers.
Is it lethal?
Nope. Your species, the Mekdin, your bodies won't be affected at all. The only thing that will change is that you won't be able to move things with your mind.
We were never able to do that. How dare you compare us to them?
Okay, sorry already. All you have to do with this stuff is put it in the water source that the Mekong use or something that will get it in their bodies. Do you have that? You know, water? Or is there something else that could work?
There is a lake used for ceremonies in the center of the Mekong community. Later this month, there will be a religious holiday where all the Mekden, Mekong, and Dindin come together and remember the arrival of the Mekong on the Dindin's land back when the cold side began, where the Dindin dance around the water while the Mekong drink it, symbolizing the Dindin's hospitality to the new community and the Mekong graciously using the Dindin's resources.
Great, yeah. Look, do you still want it or not? You know what happens to creatures that waste my time. Genetic gangster, remember?
Yes, meet me on the platform 6 in the lower sector of the warm side at 0900.
I'll be there in 5.
Spock News. Tomorrow's news today. As part of our ongoing family segment, Cosmos Explorer, we will be showcasing you one planet you might not have heard of. This week, Big Pretty is in the Gleamclock system to tell us about the planet Anguis, a mysterious jungle planet inhabited by snakes with human traits. Give it to me, Pretty.
You got it, Cave. The people here might be snakes, but this might be one planet you and the family skip the next bleak mark. Due to an unspecified disease, this planet is in complete disarray with no formal government or societal structure. A few weeks ago, seemingly out of nowhere, a strange new disease that seems to be melting the freaking scales of these folks completely dismantled their society. Only a small portion of the already tiny planet is habitable. The dense population and climate here have been apparently playing a role in the disease's destructive ability. A rumor spreading through the surviving community members places blame on a small group known as the Dario Offensive, a rebel group made up of the ethnic group Dindin who have been outspoken about injustices and political violence committed against them. Another rumor points to Mercury's position in retrograde, though neither of these reports have been confirmed.
Jesus. Thanks, Big. I'll keep that place in mind next time I'm eating snake soup. After the break, we'll reveal next week's Death Pool winners. Welcome to Spock News. Tomorrow's whatever. This is a special news bulletin. A few months ago, we reported on a disease outbreak seemingly related to the factory explosion on the planet Vincida. What are these diseases? We know it's defined as some type of impairment of one's health and well-being. And to deem someone as healthy, well, that is to categorize them as normal, and past as normal varies on the society you are in. However, one thing we have come to terms with is that the current conditions of Ikaru falls outside the realm of normality. For years, anthropological members have stressed concerns on how our creatures of higher intelligence, very existence, has managed to taint every stretch of land we have touched. We have a rare type of pollution that corrodes the human body and all bodily components. That makes it possible for them to live a healthy lifestyle. Is it a toxin? A bacterial viral infection? It's been years now and we are nowhere closer to a cure or even learn a goddamn cost. I swear that on my lava lamp. Hannibal, reel it in. I think we've been looking at it all wrong. What if now this pollutant is an allergen, and instead of blocking your ability to smell or think clearly, it's melting your freaking skin off? By touch. Maybe it's a chemical reaction or a chemical burn. There's something that makes people react. Shit, how does an infection, which is only communicated by touch, get to another galaxy in another system? Well, that's my cup of noodles. That's all I got, guys. Whatever. Just remember, lock your doors, windows, and space garages. The happy man is still out on the loose. More at 7.
I'm sad to inform that the newly discovered disease is deadly, and unfortunately our doctors have not found any sort of cure or treatment for it. First symptoms of the disease in Mekong is the decreasing ability to use telekinetic powers. Those who were once able to operate machinery with their minds are no longer able to do anything of the sort. Secondary symptoms, which seem to come when the disease is more severe, is the rotting of the mectin tail and other body parts. It is clear now, because of this secondary symptom, that the Mekong are not only mectin affected, but Dindin are too. More and more mectin die as we await to see if any of our medical treatments and advancements are working on the sick. I'm afraid I have no good news, as we are still investigating how this virus infected our kind in the first place. All we can do now is be cautious, wear the necessary protective face masks, and decrease our interactions with one another. Do not tend to those that are ill. Bring them to the Mekong hospitals and Dindin. There is a wait list for the Mekong hospitals if you need better treatment than what is available at your local care centers. Peace to Anguis.
Peace to Anguis. I must tell Vinok about Les. People's Chancellor Vinok, may I have a word in private with you immediately?
Of course, my good Dindin. What is on your mind?
I know who caused this awful destruction. A genetic gangster by the name of Les approached me a month ago discussing a possible observation study he could perform on our planet. I obliged as he said it would round out his studies, and the genetic gangsters have protected our planet and others when needed. I have evidence that he wanted to observe how our kind would handle an outside invader, if you will. Thus he polluted the water we drink, and now we are all at risk for getting sick and dying.
How do you know this? Why were you notified of his presence and not me?
My good Mekong, that is not important. What is holding him responsible. We must confront him. Let me call him now.
Very well. He must be brought to justice.
Les?
Yes, Tron, is that you? Yeah, I'm quite busy at the moment. Is this important?
Sir, this is the People's Chancellor Venok here, and you are under arrest for crimes against Mekton. If found guilty for murdering our people, you will be executed publicly.
What? Tron, who is this? Is this the Mekong you told me about?
Les, what did you do? We are dying. This was not what you told me it would be. You must be held accountable.
Look, I have to go right now. Give me some time to figure this out, and I will see what Eye on the Gangster Galaxy can do.
No, sir. You have done quite enough.
Wow. About time you showed up. You said you were going to be off planet a little while.
I know.
Well, what the hell happened? In case you haven't noticed, we have kind of a situation here.
I know.
You look terrible.
Thanks.
Sorry. Should have been so short with you. I just, with everything.
Sorry. Listen, Jake, there's something you should know.
What?
Those samples, when I was done researching them, I had some left over, and I had an assignment, and...
Oh, no. You didn't?
God, I didn't know it was gonna happen, okay? All I was looking for was...
Was what, Leslie? Why? How could you possibly think that was a good idea?
I just wanted to help.
Yeah. Yeah, you were a big help. Now we got 2 planets that are infected, Suntos dropping dead as we speak. Who knows what's going to happen next? Who knows what's going to happen next?
Oh, God.
And all because I had the brilliant idea of trusting you. People are dead because of me. Do you realize that? I should have never called you in the first place.
I'm sorry.
Well, sorry doesn't cut it. What you're going to do is this. Willing, you understand? You're going to talk to little trans data friends, and you're going to get as many Sentos out of here and into new bodies as soon as you can. That's the least you can do.
Where are you going?
I'm going to fix this mess. It was the last thing I do.